What if I told you that the difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is sometimes just 1 hour? One silent hour when the world is still sleeping. 1 hour when there are no distractions. 1 hour when your future is quietly being built. Most people think success comes from talent. Others think it comes from luck. But the truth is something far simpler. Success is often built in the hours nobody sees. And for millions of successful people around the world, that hour begins at 5 a.m. Today's story is about a poor man whose life changed forever the day he started waking up at 5 a.m. The life he hated. His name was Raghav. Raghav grew up in a small town. His family had very little money. His father worked long hours. His mother struggled to keep the house running. Raghav always dreamed of changing his life, but dreams alone don't change anything. By the time he turned 25, his life looked exactly like everyone else around him. Wake up late, rush to work, spend the whole day tired, come home exhausted, watch TV, scroll on the phone, sleep late, and repeat the same cycle again, day after day, month after month, year after year. He felt trapped, like his life was moving but going nowhere. The real problem. One evening, Raghav met an old teacher. The teacher asked him something simple. "Why are you unhappy?" Raghav replied, "I work hard, but nothing changes." The teacher looked at him calmly and said something that shocked him. "You are not poor because you lack money. You are poor because you lack control of your time." Then he said something even more powerful. "Show me your morning, and I will show you your future." The secret of 5 a.m. The teacher explained something fascinating. Every successful person understands one simple truth. The morning hours control the direction of your life, because early morning has something powerful. Silence, focus, clarity, no noise, no distractions, no demands from the world. At 5 a.m., your mind is at its strongest. Your discipline is at its highest. Your potential is waiting to be used. But most people sleep through that opportunity. The psychology of early mornings. There is a psychological reason why the 5 a.m. habit works. When you wake up early, you immediately win the first battle of the day. And winning that first battle changes your mindset. Instead of feeling lazy, you feel in control. Instead of feeling behind, you feel ahead of the world. Your brain starts believing something powerful. I am disciplined. And once your brain believes that, everything begins to change. The first morning. The next day, Raghav set his alarm for 5 a.m. The alarm rang. His body wanted to sleep. His mind wanted comfort. But he remembered his teacher's words. Your future is built in the hours nobody sees. So he got up. That morning, he didn't do anything extraordinary. He simply sat quietly. He thought about his life. He wrote down his goals. And for the first time in years, he felt something powerful. Hope. The new routine. Every morning at 5 a.m., Raghav started doing 4 simple things. Exercise to strengthen his body, reading to strengthen his mind, planning his day to strengthen his focus, working on his dreams before the world woke up. At first, it was difficult. Some mornings he felt tired. Some mornings he wanted to quit. But discipline is built exactly in those moments. The slow transformation. Weeks passed. Months passed. Something strange began happening. Raghav's energy increased. His thinking improved. His confidence grew. At work, people noticed something different. He was sharper, more focused, more productive. Because while everyone else started their day in chaos, Raghav started his day with clarity. The truth about success. Here is the truth most people never understand. Success rarely comes from one big moment. It comes from small habits repeated daily. Tiny improvements, tiny efforts, tiny discipline, day after day. The 5 a.m. routine didn't change Raghav's life overnight, but it changed him. And once a person changes their life, inevitably follows. The breakthrough. 2 years later, Raghav was no longer the same person. He had built new skills, started a small business, saved money, improved his health, and most importantly, he had built an unstoppable mindset. All because of a simple habit, waking up at 5 a.m. Final powerful lesson. Here is the lesson from this story. Your destiny is not decided by luck. It is decided by daily habits. The world sleeps in comfort, but those who wake up early build their future in silence. Because the real secret of success is not talent, it is discipline. And discipline begins with a single decision. The decision to wake up when everyone else chooses comfort. If this story inspired you, remember this simple truth. Tomorrow morning, your alarm will ring, and in that moment, you will face a choice: comfort or growth. So if this message touched your heart, share this video with someone who needs motivation and start your journey. Because your destiny might be waiting at 5 a.m. But the story doesn't end there. Because waking up at 5 a.m. was not the miracle. The miracle was what happened inside Raghav's mind. You see, most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to work harder. But real discipline is something very different. Real discipline is about changing your identity. Before the 5 a.m. routine, Raghav believed he was an ordinary man. Someone who struggled, someone who had little control over life, someone who hoped things would get better one day. But hope alone changes nothing. Discipline changes everything. And slowly, very slowly, his identity began to shift. He stopped seeing himself as a victim of circumstances. He started seeing himself as the architect of his life. And that mental shift is the real power of the 5 a.m. habit. The hour that builds champions. Look at the lives of highly successful people, athletes, entrepreneurs, writers, leaders. Many of them share one common habit. They protect the early hours of the morning. Why? Because early morning is when the world is quiet, but your mind is powerful. At 5 a.m., there are no emails, no social media noise, no urgent calls, no distractions, just you and your potential. It is the only time of day when your future can be built without interruption. And the people who understand this treat those hours like treasure. The compound effect of small habits. At first, the 5 a.m. habit didn't feel extraordinary. Some mornings felt slow, some mornings felt boring, but something powerful was happening beneath the surface. Every day, Raghav improved just a little bit. One more page read, one more push-up completed, one more idea written, one more plan prepared. Individually, these actions seemed small, but together, they created momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. Because when small habits repeat consistently, they create massive results over time. This is called the compound effect. Tiny improvements, repeated daily, create extraordinary transformation. The difference between dreamers and doers. There are two types of people in the world: dreamers and builders. Dreamers talk about what they want. Builders wake up early and work for it. Dreamers wait for motivation. Builders rely on discipline. Dreamers blame circumstances. Builders create new ones. Raghav realized something important. The difference between the two groups is not intelligence, not luck, not education. It is daily habits, because habits shape identity, and identity shapes destiny. The moment of doubt. But the path of discipline is never easy. There were mornings when Raghav felt exhausted. There were mornings when his alarm rang, and every part of him wanted to stay in bed. Those moments are the real test. Not when you feel motivated, but when you feel tired. Because discipline is not built on the days you feel strong. It is built on the days you feel weak, but still choose to act. On those mornings, Raghav reminded himself of one simple truth. Comfort will not build the life I want. So he stood up. Even when it was hard. And every time he did, his mind became stronger. The mental advantage. After a year of waking up early, Raghav noticed something fascinating. He had an advantage over most people around him. Not because he was smarter, but because he was mentally sharper. While others rushed into their day half awake, Raghav had already exercised, already learned something new, already planned his day, already made progress on his dreams. By the time most people were just starting their morning, he had already won the day. And that mental advantage changes everything. Because confidence comes from preparation, and preparation begins in the early hours. The power of silent progress. One of the most beautiful things about discipline is that it often happens in silence. No applause, no recognition, no audience, just quiet effort. But silent progress is powerful because it builds something deeper than success. It builds self-respect. Every morning, Raghav woke up early. He proved something to himself. I can trust my own decisions. I can control my actions. I can build the life I want. And that kind of self-belief is more valuable than any external validation. Why most people fail. But if the 5 a.m. routine is so powerful, why don't more people do it? The answer is simple. Comfort is seductive. The bed feels warm, sleep feels easy, and discipline feels uncomfortable. But growth always lives on the other side of discomfort. Most people choose comfort today and regret tomorrow. Disciplined people choose discomfort today and enjoy success tomorrow. The invisible advantage. 2 years after starting his 5 a.m. routine, Raghav realized something profound. His success did not happen suddenly. It happened gradually and invisibly. Every morning added another layer of strength, another layer of knowledge, another layer of confidence. Until one day, people around him began asking the same question. How did you change your life? They thought something dramatic must have happened. But the truth was simple. Nothing dramatic happened. Just one quiet decision repeated every morning. Wake up, start early, stay disciplined. Now let me ask you something. Imagine waking up tomorrow at 5 a.m. The world is silent, your mind is clear, your future is waiting. What could you build in that hour? A stronger body? A smarter mind? A better plan for your life? A skill that changes your future? 1 hour every day is 365 hours every year. that in 365 focused hours, a life can completely transform. The final realization. Raghav eventually understood something deeper. The 5 a.m. routine was never really about time. It was about taking control of his life. Because when you control your mornings, you control your direction. And when you control your direction, you control your destiny. Success is not built in moments of excitement. It is built in moments of discipline, quiet mornings, focused effort, consistent action, day after day, year after year. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm rings, remember this story. You will face the same choice Raghav faced: comfort or growth, sleep or progress, excuses or discipline. Most people will turn off the alarm and go back to sleep. But a few people, the ones who build extraordinary lives, will get up because they understand something powerful. The world belongs to those who wake up early and build their future in silence. And maybe, just maybe, your destiny is waiting at 5 a.m.